and welcome to Now You Novi. Trev, you're nervous, you said.
Hello, I'm here.
You said you're nervous. What's going on?
Well, being behind the camera all this time, it's a little weird being in front of it. So.
Is this your first time on the pod?
For sure is. Pre-studio, no, this is first time.
We run out of guests.
I don't know. I think I'm kind of like a D-tier guest, but all right.
No,
We'll
not
do my
at
best.
all. Not at all. You're doing great things, and it's about time we had you on. For those that don't know you, yes, you are typically behind the scenes producing the show, the pod, and you just completed something amazing. It was almost a year long, really. It's, 8-10 months of dedication. And I thought that it was a great time to get you on to talk about it, because I think the community knows that we have an outward facing program, the Novi Ambassador program. And we may have talked about it before, where it gives the opportunity for residents, business members to come in. We pull behind the curtain and they can see behind the scenes. They see all the ingredients that go in the soup and how the city is operated. We do something very similarly, I guess I would say, for employees, and
Yes.
You signed up and just completed Novi University.
Bachelor's from Novi University. Yeah, I am a graduate now.
That's awesome.
Yep.
You have your little diploma.
That's right.
In Novi University.
This goes in the resume now, I think.
Yeah,
So,
you are
yeah. What can I
proud
say?
graduate.
Not too bad.
Let's tell everybody a little bit about Novi University. Why don't you talk a little bit about the program?
Yep. So again, put on by our great community relations team. Novi University is a handful of sessions put together to kind of, break city employees kind of out of their silos a little bit. It's really the best part about, being able to sign up is you're just having so many different experiences throughout the city that you wouldn't come across in your daily occurrence. So for a couple examples, you'd have, let's say, setting aside a half day in the morning to go check out the library and learn about all the stuff that they do that you wouldn't know about if you work at, say, DPW or stuff like that. So it's pretty much 6 or 7 sessions, I believe, where you just kind of become a bit more well-rounded of an employee and make some connections along the way.
So I think one of the most interesting and relevant things for me about the program is it immerses you as and I'm going to use you as an example, Trev. You were with another, a dozen employees throughout the city. But as a video production specialist, you touch every department, right? This week you could be making a video about community development.
Yep.
Next week you could be working with the police department, the fire department, assessing. You touch everybody. But while you are filming them, you really don't have the understanding, perhaps, of what their responsibilities really are, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's very much surface level, right? And again, since all of these programs and all these sessions are all put on by the people at the top of these departments, they have the kind of best knowledge to get you completely immersed. Let's say, you're going over to the fire station and going up in the fire tower, or going in the simulated building, right? Or in the police station going, seeing the dispatcher room, or, driving around the snowplow trucks at the DPW, which was a huge highlight for me.
Yeah,
it was
so
a lot
you
of fun.
really put yourself in their shoes for the amount of time you're with that department.
Definitely.
And I think it's a testament to the city's desire to deliver service at the highest level. It not only helps you understand what your fellow employees do, but when you're out in the community, you can speak to those experiences, even if for a short little bit of time.
Right.
Or you're fielding calls in our office, which we should start a log. We listened yesterday to somebody that keeps log of the craziest things that come in and questions.
Yep.
You know where to direct those calls, or you make a connection in another department that you can say, you know what, I don't know the answer, but I can find it out from my friend John,
Yep.
who now works in DPW, et cetera. So it's about building those bridges and helping, I guess, or assisting staff to make those relationships.
Yeah, exactly. And like, if you're a resident and you're, reaching out to us, just trying to figure out whatever your question might be, it's a lot easier, just being able to call any department and you're talking to a knowledgeable city employee, not, hey, I work in community development. This is a, public safety thing. Let me toss you off, right? Being able to like answer your question on the spot, whether it's on the phone or in person, just having more people being versed in the entire city versus just their like specific silo is just going to make the experience better for residents.
Yeah, and I think the appreciation you have for the expertise that each individual brings to the table, right?
Yeah.
We spoke yesterday at your graduation. You actually had a graduation.
It's true. Yeah.
We spoke a little bit about the cogs in the wheel, right? Like everybody has an integral part, be it public safety, finance, assessing, like it's a machine that all works together.
Right.
And being able to understand better how the city functions. Would you say that was something you attained from the program?
Oh yeah, 100%. And I think that specifically working in video production, it's kind of interesting how the knowledge kind of applies because again, a lot of the times stuff that we produce is like informational in nature. So just having that like next layer of knowledge of whatever process it might be we're making a video about of makes it easier instead of saying, hey, this person from assessing, can you please answer this question for my script? Being able to just see the process through start to finish based on my own knowledge that I've gained is just a really interesting way that I kind of take away from Novi U.
What was, I'm going to put you on the spot, what was, I think you may have alluded it to, like the aha, like what did you find was like so cool, like you never would have expected yourself maybe to think, wow, this is amazing?
I think, honestly, just the machinery and operations at DPW was like the biggest delta between how much I knew and how much I learned for sure. Again, like you see the snowplows driving around in the winter, you don't really realize it seems insanely hard to drive those things, but just how many different controls and stuff and how it's so routine for our plow drivers to be doing it for every single road and all over the city, or even just going back and just seeing, like our great John Talbot, who produces all the signs for every, street sign, every road sign, just seeing the process of designing to producing to printing it out and everything like that. A lot of stuff that we kind of take for granted as like residents, and just seeing a deeper appreciation for the fact that there's real people doing these processes and they're really complex and we probably need to give them more credit.
So you gain a respect for your fellow employees. That's great. So this is nothing new. We've been doing this. I think this is maybe our 10th year. And it never ceases to amaze me how much everyone that goes through the program just applauds it. It is like, I never had an idea. It was so fun.
Yep.
But B, I learned so much. And you had people in your, I'll say class, your class,
yep, graduating
class, that had been here 20 years.
Never knew this stuff. Yeah.
Had never, and I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus or anything, but let's just, I'll say a police or a police officer, a detective, or a fire command member, that we as teammates become so focused on the job we're doing. And I don't want to say siloed, because the city definitely is not siloed,
Sure.
because we all work dependently and interdependently of each other. But you see the city through a windshield. And I think one of those two said, I was responsible for a certain area of the city. You get to become a creature of habit.
Yep.
And I never, ever realized what was in this building,
Yeah.
that this park was here, etc.
Absolutely.
Because you come, you do your job, and when you went to a parks tour, you got to intimately visit all the parks.
Mm-hmm.
When you went on the economic development tour, you drove the entire city and learned from the community development director what businesses make up our economic development force and how valuable that is to Novi to keep us fresh, dynamic, and moving forward, right? Yeah. So you, as I'm going to say a younger, I'm not
maybe so
a younger employee, a less seasoned.
I think so.
Here,
that's
what,
accurate.
a year and a half, almost 2 years, right, Trevor?
About there, yeah. Mm-hmm.
To have the opportunity to be in class with someone that's been here 20, 25 years is also a benefit, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will say also another thing that I think is kind of underrated and kind of slept on is like the variety of presentations throughout Novi U. Obviously, you talked about the parks tour and economic development tour. There's a little bit of kind of, hearing lectures from people, which for more, deep informative stuff. But the fact that you're able to go out and get your hands on these things and like be right with, the city employees is just really great because, I'm not someone who personally absorbs information that well from just like pure lecture. So having a mix of that and, getting your hands on, throwing the fire gear on, driving around with the police officers is just, it's really easy to engage, especially, when it's just something that to most people, even if you've, no matter how long you've been here, some of this stuff is just brand new.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Trev. I appreciate you coming on and being willing to share your experience with us. I think we all too often talk about the outwardly facing things that we do, and there is a method to the madness in how we do service delivery
100%.
Internally as well, and provide opportunities to staff. And I thought it was important to maybe highlight that and to recognize you and your fellow classmates. It seems so odd, fellow classmates.
Yep, walked along the aisle. Yep.
For engaging in Novi, being committed, and wanting to learn about the city. It's so important.
Yep.
So thank you for that.
Absolutely. I think it's really important to always be kind of pursuing new knowledge and, growth, even if, it can be easy to sometimes get into your, mechanisms and your processes and just be okay with steady. But, I try and push myself and try and always be chasing, knowledge or habits or, skills that I might have not had. So this was just like a great opportunity.
So if you're watching or listening and you have an interest, there is a program, I'll say it again, Novi Ambassador, which is going to kick off in March of 25. Registration is open. So if you are a resident that's listening and have an interest in wanting to go through a similar experience, it's 8 weeks. I think it's Tuesday nights that we're going to do it. And you could do the outward-facing program that Trevor and his colleagues just went through.
Absolutely.
So
100% recommend. Yeah, do it. I recommend it.
Yeah, good deal. Thanks, Trev. Keep up the great work. Thank you again for your dedication. And anything people need to know, any words of wisdom? I don't know when we'll have you on the pod again. Anything before you go?
I would just say keep up with our social media channels, keep up with our YouTube, and see what Josh and I are producing. And hopefully it's pretty informative and you like it.
That's good stuff.
I think so.
It's good stuff. How do you think the audio sounds on this?
I'd say it's quite an
edition?
improvement. I don't know.
You think it's an improvement?
Yep.
I heard somebody was saying that our audio needed some improvement. Am I talking better into the mic?
There might
right
have been
now?
some constructive criticism in YouTube comments. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's
We
not give
heeded
any
it.
credibility.
We heeded it. Well.
We need it.
Well,
Okay.
what's to say?
Okay. So we've made an enhancement. We're hoping whoever's listening found my voice to be more soothing, maybe?
I don't know.
I think my voice.
I think my voice is annoying, so this is kind of like counteracting it a little bit. So if you're listening and you find my voice annoying, I'm sorry, but I'm here.
Okay. Well, there you have it on this episode of Now You Novi. Take care.